Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today's flight will be with the 777-300ER, and we're going to fly the service from Larnaca all the way over to Dubai. The flight time is about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Actually about 3 hours to be exact. And so a very short flight for 777. However, still a realistic flight, still happens, still occurs every day, I think, at least once. Or every other day, something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. So first things first, what I did here, since I'm going to be using realistic fueling, I already went ahead and set up the passengers and the payload. So we have about 10.5 tons of cargo, and 351 passengers on board today. So next, we're going to go to ground operations, select port, and we're going to put our planned fuel 28.8 here. So we'll do 28,800. There you go. That's an uplift of 13 tons. Takes about 8 minutes and 30 seconds to load. And then with that, since the times do match up, we can already start our pre-flight events.
Hi, Captain. How are you today?
And continue. So nobody dared to start the 777. Nobody on the ground, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves. But luckily, the 777 isn't a complicated aircraft, so at least not procedures-wise. So we're gonna start with the battery. Turn it on. We'll see 3 lights illuminate, which is fine. C pumps. Electrical pumps off, the man pumps are off, wipers should be off, the gear should be down, thrust surface idle, alternate flaps to off, which is checked, bus ties to auto, and then we can select the external power, the primary external power on, and then momentarily after we'll go ahead and select the secondary external power. The aircraft will now do a power up, will now power up. We'll take a minute or two. With the self-tests and everything, and then once that is complete, we'll go ahead and continue. Alright, the aircraft is power up. And the first thing we're going to do is the preliminary cockpit preparations, the preliminary procedures. ADD-ONS to on, emergency exit lights armed. We'll then check the status of the aircraft, so we're going to check the engine oil quantities, the hydraulic quantities, and the oxygen pressure. We'll also check the status messages. TCAS is the only one which is checked. And we'll check the ICAS messages, so verify all of these are normal, which they all are, so we'll cancel, and that's good to go. Then go to communications, with alien communications, and erase any messages or any previous things, but it's not simulated, so we'll just go back to the status page. Then in the aft overhead, make sure everything is guarded, and that the cargo temperature selectors are set as required. Fueling has already been requested and is already loading now. That's good. And the next thing I would check is any discrepancies on the EFB. I'm going to go ahead and do a data load. Alright, complete. And then I'm going to go ahead and check the system page, verify that there are no faults logged. And if so, review them and restart the EFB, but that looks good, so we can go back. I'm going to go ahead and get the weather and set our altimeter 1010 on all 3. This is checked. And we're going to go ahead and set up ACARS, so our data link. Alright, our data link is active. And we will now check the charts, the flight plan, NOTAMs, all that stuff, review that. And I'll get back to you here in a moment. Alright, so the NOTAMs have been reviewed, the flight plan has been checked, and the charts have also been checked. We're going to go ahead and continue with programming the FMC. So, let's go ahead and get started. First we'll check aircraft type is up to date, engine type is checked, nav database is up to date. Sorry, model is correct, not up to date, but the nav database is up to date. We'll continue with the position in it. We'll just copy and insert the GPS position, go to route. We can already see that we have origin and destination in due to the data link that we've done, and now we're going to route request.
I'm out for the walk around.
Go ahead and load. We'll go to performance and we're going to reject. And we're just going to confirm some things. So runway 22, departure, flight number, and Arab Emirates 222 Alpha. The rest is checked. The departure arrival is 22, Cobra 1 Delta, and arrival is ILS 30 left at Uldot. Take 3 Charlie departure arrival, sorry. Go to route, next page, and verify everything is checked here. So Cobra 1 Delta to Cobra, Romeo 655 Balma, Uniform Romeo 655 Libor. That's checked. We'll go ahead and activate and execute the changes. We'll get a wind uplink, we'll go to route data and load. Execute. We'll go to descent, forecast, urge for now. The cruise level initially is going to be flight level 270. We're going to do no step climb. Class index is 36. Do a CG of 30. Our expected zero fuel weight is 209.1. And reserves will keep empty just to give us the information that this is not updated values. These are not updated values. We're going to go back to legs page. We can expect a step climb at Baima. Probably already missed it. There it is. Baima. Level 370S. Execute. Okay. Go to alternate. Our alternate is Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha. We'll plug that in as well. VNAV. Our transition altitude here is 9,000. Restrictions are checked, everything looks good. Next page. Everything looks good here as well. So optimum 370, max 378, recommended 370. That's fine. This all looks good. Go to progress. And OMDB 1290, our flight plan says 1291, so that's checked. With the 8.9 tons of fuel extra. And flight plan calculated 8.0, so this is checked as well. We can now go to route copy, go to route 2, and it should be in here as well. Route 1 fix. We're going to plug in our engine out procedures. I want to set 9,000 as a transition altitude. So LCA BOR 25. Yeah, so these are the opposites, so always remember that, always opposites. So it's 2 15. 305, sorry. Yeah, 305. 070. The internet procedure is as follows. At 3 DME of LCA, do a right turn to VXI. And so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go to the next page. Again, VXI. Just so we know. Sorry, it's left turn. Yes. So 3 DME, left turn to VXI, and then hold. Well, that's good. And that's pretty much everything set up. Navrad, we'll go ahead and manually tune LCA on both sides for now, and the rest is checked. We will verify the routing. So, get the charts. So our first waypoint is Lima Kilo 601. Then Boses 3,000 feet or above, and then Cover 4,000 feet or above, and that is checked to the SID. We will check just the continuation of the route to make sure nothing is amiss, make sure everything is connected, nothing looks absurd. I mean, we've already seen the progress page that the distance pretty much matches exactly. There's only 1 nautical mile difference to our flight plan, so that's already a hint for us that everything is properly connected, and no waypoint is a wrong waypoint necessarily, but again, it's still good to double check. So we'll go back to InterRef, giving us the hint that boarding hasn't completed, we don't have the load sheet yet, and also the same as the reserve, since it's empty, that's also a hint for us that this data is only the preliminary data given by us to the either by the preliminary load sheet or by the OFP. So the first officer will return here momentarily. Boarding will be requested, and we'll begin, and then we'll do our pre-flight flows.
Hi guys, can we start boarding now?
Yes.
Thanks.
So boarding has just started. FMC is programmed and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and continue with our pre-flight flows. So first we're going to set up our EFIS. Alright, flight directors on. 200 for now. LNAV can be engaged. VNAV may not be engaged just yet. Heading, well, actually we'll switch to track 220. We'll stay in track mode until we get vectored, or expected to get vectored, so we'll switch back to heading mode for the descent. Or unless we have an engine failure and the ATC vectors us again. Initial climb expecting 4,000. We'll cycle through some of the systems. Fuel is balanced, we can also see that here. Gear, pressure, and temperatures are good. Flight controls, everything is fine for now. And that is good. Okay. Normally you would do all this stuff, speaker, interphone, and test it, but it's not simulated. Okay, back to 100%. Initialize the flight. (1904) is correct. 1007 is correct. Rest is checked. No VCs is the only flag is fine. TCAS obviously the only flag here as well. That's fine. The rest looks good here. Brake source is fine for now. This is all checked and good to go. That's all checked. And 0, 0, That's also ready to go. For pre-flight procedures for us is complete. The first officer will start his as well here momentarily, or she will start hers here in a moment. Checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 220. Altimeter 1010 set.
Heading 220. Altimeter 1010. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Clearance has been given. 4,000 feet. Squawk 2000. NSID is checked and set. We'll go to the briefing. Gate ASDX no reduced. Def config. We're probably going to go flaps 5. Packs on. Anti-has not required. NDP 2. 1500 feet. SID concerns terrain, although it's not a big concern.
Ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you. Have a safe flight.
Thanks. Alright, so load sheet. Did the values, didn't change much. And we've got 6.3 as our reserves. Performance, copy FMC data. And the winds are 190 at 12. Calculate. So our calculations give us flaps 5, assumed temperature of 640 degrees, and our V speeds here. So we'll plug that in, go to thrust limit, 640 degrees, 89.5%, 89.3%. And the reason why it's less here is because packs are running, whereas here packs are not running yet. 5 EG. This is all checked. Engine out acceleration is going to be 1,500 feet. The rest is fine. These speeds 138, 150, 165. And we can plug in 165 and RMB nav. We'll start the APU. Can we pressurize the hydraulics?
Roger, you're clear to pressurize the hydraulics.
Alright guys, everyone's seated. We're all buttoned up and ready to go in the back.
Captain,
Thanks.
the air conditioning unit is disconnected.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Before start procedure.
Are we clear to pressurize?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's all checked. We're going to go and cancel ICAS. Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. MCP.
V2 165. Heading 220. Track 220. Altitude 4,000 feet.
Takeoff speeds.
B1 138. BR 150. V2 165 set.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed. Trim.
4.5 units, 0 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist complete.
We are ready for pushback and engine start, facing southeast.
Roger, facing southeast. Release brakes.
Brakes released.
Okay, commencing pushback. clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2. Oil pressure.
Turn engine 1.
Starting 1.
Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear.
Clear to disconnect.
Roger, have a nice flight.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall. Checked. Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left side.
Clear right.
Runway entry procedure.
Check.
Takeoff.
Check. Thrust
On
set.
taxiway. On taxiway.
$80 knots.
Checked.
On taxiway. On taxiway.
Rotate. Positive rate.
You're up. Flaps 1.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Speed check, flaps up. Feet to level off.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete. Approach stable.
1,000.
Approaching 30 left.
Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Minimums. Speed brakes up. Reversers normal. Knots.
shutdown checklist. Alright guys, sorry but currently a bug with FS the crew. It doesn't want to recognize set for the parking check or start shutdown checklist. You can't close this once this is up. You can't close it. Weird bug, I haven't had this before. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, peace.